There's been a teaching within the people of Israel for thousands of years that in the future, the spiritual teachings and the physical sciences will merge and become one. And when I look at Adam, I think of something that really resembles this. We say that there's such a term called zechut avot, the merit of our ancestors. And if you actually look at the people, Adam's immediate, his parents and his grandparents and so on and so forth, they're well-known individuals who gave their lives and gave their whole entire identity to the people and to the formation of the state of Israel. So it's fantastic to realize. I read an article recently that the Israel University recently proven that DNA passes on memories. So literally that you can expect to see someone who came forth from these people to carry on those attributes. When I look at Adam, he really has that. When they asked me to open up for Adam, I was really honored, and I got my pen and paper and I started writing down some notes and some content. And then only a few days ago, I realized they told me this was a 2-minute slot. And I said to talk about Adam Margules in 2 minutes would be almost impossible. To talk about his achievements. I mean, secondly, he's a really humble guy. He has no desire that I stand up here and really brag about him, everything he's done so far as being successful in business and his philanthropy and his all his other amazing things that he's done on planet Earth. So what I did was, I started, the most interesting man on YouTube, the Dos Equis beer commercial? I started watching those from some R&D, some research. How do you talk about a guy in 2 minutes or under? And those weren't even 2 minutes. So it was really difficult. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with what I call a state-of-the-art human, someone who is unmatched. They can call him a throwback, so to say, someone in his generation who we could expect to see what he's done at such a young age, to see what he does going forward. And so I decided what's the best thing to say or do for a man so great is that when he steps up on stage here, the whole room will be smiling and happy and receive him well. So this was my intentions to come up here for such a great man. I'd like to call up now who I call the Mensch's Mensch, Adam Margules.
Thank you, Harry. I think it's very obvious why I asked you to introduce me. Leading up to this event, many of you have asked how or why I got involved in the Algemeiner. I figured this is a fitting time to respond to that. It all started a few years back when I attended the gala dinner. I wasn't planning on attending, but my father had bought a ticket. And he couldn't make it, so it became my job to make sure somebody ate that dinner. The honored guest that night was Donald Trump. Melania and Ivanka and the whole gang were in attendance, and I thought if nothing else, these guys really throw a great party. Since then, I have gained a much better understanding of what the Algemeiner is and what they stand for. They are an organization that prides themselves on integrity, trust, and just as important, correcting the obvious bias the mainstream media has portrayed against the state of Israel. I think we all know that we live in a time where distorted facts have become the rule and not the exception. When you hear Iranians in the streets chanting death to Palestine, and you hear Jewish liberals in the streets chanting death to Israel, you get the sense that the world has been a bit upside down lately. As the grandson of 4 Holocaust survivors and the son of parents who were greatly affected by what their parents went through, I grew up with a vivid and clear understanding of what can happen when we stay silent in the face of hate. By example, I was taught, do whatever you can to protect your fellow Jew. Realizing that my angry Facebook posts were doing little to persuade the others effectively, I knew I could do more, and supporting the Algemeiner was a no-brainer for me. It gives Israel and the Jewish people a strong voice that they can depend on, something my grandparents' generation needed so desperately but never had. For the last few years, I've truly enjoyed the content the Algemeiner has put out. There is really good news and truth. And reading the Algemeiner reminds us of the amazing accomplishments this barely 70-year-old miracle of a country has become, not only on behalf of the Jewish people, but on behalf of the world. So to my friends here that thought they were here supporting Alzheimer's, I hope this clears it up a bit. David? Well, I was going to say, we all know that an organization is only as good as the people behind it. David, after getting to know you these last few years, it's obvious that the Algemeiner is in very capable hands. Not just because your smooth wit and charming accent make everything seem so believable, but because I've seen you in action, strategizing and formulating ideas to combat the bias of the mainstream media. Chana Yemini, I can tell you for certain that David could not do this without you. Your diligence, commitment, and attention to detail is understated but obvious to anyone who knows you. I will definitely miss our daily exchanges leading up to this event, but I think we both agree it's probably best we don't talk for a little while. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who came out, especially my family and my very close friends, my parents, who are shepping right now. And most importantly, I want to thank you for coming to support the Algemeiner, which I hope you continue to support long after this event. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of the week.